I'm American, and I've made videos on Japan and how I'm kind of defending Japan when people say Japan is the most racist country in the world. A lot of people think I'm a Japan apologist, but at the same time, right-wingers will go and tell me that I'm a Japan hater and I should go back to my own country. But one thing I don't understand is, although I won't be the first to admit, but I sadly admit, I do admit that yes, Japan does have racism. And one thing that's always puzzled me is why people think it's the most racist country in the world. I mean, there's so many other countries that are much worse from what I've seen. Like in-your-face racism. It's much more subtle here. More than racism, it's discrimination, or it's xenophobia. And that xenophobia is I'm pretty sure mostly more than hate. It's fear or confusion, like, whoa, a foreigner, oh, I speak English a little, I don't want to deal with this, my English sucks, this is embarrassing, right? One of my YouTube friends here, Medama Sensei here, has made an excellent video called Nihon de wa jinshu sabetsu ga arimasu ka, or in English, does racism exist in Japan? And of course it does exist in Japan. It's a great video, go check it out. I learned a lot of things, especially about Okinawa and the way Japanese people deal with Okinawans. I've heard a lot about this, but since I don't live over there, I don't really know much about that. I know that in Nagoya, we even have Okinawa like shops and stores where people go and eat, and people love it, and the music was very popular a couple years ago. So I think things have really changed. I've never heard anything negative about Okinawans in Nagoya. Now, of course, I cannot, this is my subjective experience, is not really scientifically relevant, but my own personal experiences is that Okinawans are cool, and all the Japanese people I know think that Okinawans are cool. So, but he does talk about how Okinawa was treated 67 years ago after World War II, and he says only 67 years ago. But I think that's the wrong tone to take, because the world is changing so quickly and getting smaller every year. Every year is just so different from the year before, you know. So I think we're affecting each other more. So I think in another 20 years. Every year is just different, you know. So 67 years is a long time these days, you know, especially with the internet now. So yeah, I wouldn't say only 67 years, but anyway, that's a minor point. Another thing he mentions is the word bakachon camera, which got me to thinking about something. Bakachon camera is the expression, and if you watch this video, you'll learn. It's the derogatory word or slang for a disposable camera. Baka means idiot, and chon is a reference to Korean people. And I see some people arguing with you in the comments already, which is just ridiculous, but that's what I've heard as well, and it's a word you're not supposed to say.放送禁止用語, or banned word. Just like George Carlin has the 7 words you can't say on American television, we have a bunch of words here in Japan that we cannot say, and that's one of them, bakachon camera. And the thing about that is, we don't really, I mean, when was the last time you saw a disposable camera that wasn't held by an 80-year-old person? I mean, only old people use those these days. Everyone's gone digital, right? So that word's kind of faded out of use. And I think it's faded out of use for a couple of reasons. One is that people learn that it's offensive. You know, the people I know, when I was here 23 years ago and we still had bakachon cameras, people realized, oh, maybe we shouldn't use that anymore. So people stopped using it. I haven't heard it in years. I'll give you some other examples of words that are on that list of words you cannot say on television. Chie okura, slow intelligence, which is the basic Japanese for retard. And remember, don't go full retard. Kichigai, I was surprised to see on the list. Kichigai is crazy. Kichigai. So you're crazy. But I hear this a lot. Like a lot of people say it all the time. And I guess it's a word you're not supposed to say. But anyway, there it is. A couple other words. Biko and chimba, which means someone who's lame. Or if you're a Pulp Fiction fan, gimp, bring out the gimp, right? Not supposed to say that word anymore. There's mekura. Mekura is someone who has who's blind, or tsumbo, someone who's deaf. Both of these words are also derogatory. The last word I'm going to give you today is on this very short example list is toruko buro, which is Turkish bath. Now, in New York City, when you said Turkish bath, everyone just thought, oh, you meant gay bath, because that's apparently where homosexuals used to get together and have random sex with strangers or something. And I don't know if that's true, but anyway. That's what I heard. But in Japan, you might think it's the same thing, but no. In Japan, that's the original name for places that are now called health club or herusu clubs or soaplands, which is where men go to get sexually serviced, right? Anyway, that's your little example list of words you shouldn't say. So I'm sure you'll remember them because that's how the human mind works. Don't say these words. You don't need these words. I'm sure you're already memorized them, right? But anyway, if you know any more that belong on that list, you can put them in the comments. And check out his video. It's a great video. Medama Sensei, usually a comedian, does a lot of comedian stuff. But I really respect the fact that he's not afraid to get his hands dirty, so to speak, by making videos about things that make a lot of people uncomfortable. I'm grateful for YouTubers like him, so thanks a lot, man. I'm only going to have one shot today because I got to go to bed. But check it out, and I'll see you guys very soon.